In today's video, we got Week 5 picks. We got Georgia at Alabama as the game of the week. See who I'm going to pick next and enjoy the new look for the video. Stay tuned. And we're back. It's your boy Mattfreakin Deakins coming to you today. We got Week 5 picks. Real quick recap. Last week went 7-5 for back-to-back weeks. One difference, last week I actually got the Tennessee game right, so I got 8 points out of and 7 wins, which was not very good. But everyone, that slate of games had a bunch of upsets last week. So, overall, the overall tone of the picks were very not upset heavy, and there were a bunch of upsets that happened. So, we didn't lose too much ground here. So, overall, we're doing okay. I'm actually 3 points out of first place right now, even though I've had back-to-back really not good weeks, 8-point week and a 7-point week. So, this week, Week 5, we've got 12 games here. The standards apply. I like to rehash this every time to start. I run this pick'em for work, at work, and I pick some local teams. Usually it's so in Toledo, Ohio, it's going to be Toledo, Bowling Green, Ohio State, and Michigan, because if you live in Toledo, you're kind of in between the two, and you pick one side or the other. So you got those. Occasionally we'll throw in Michigan State if they're playing somebody interesting. We do have a few Michigan State alumni on our team. So I like to throw those in. And then from there, I then fill in the rest of the games. I try to pick games that are close and or ranked matchups and or relevance. So you'll see some of the picks in today. Like last week, I had a bunch of random picks. I still have my picks here from last week. So like Cal at Florida State, Tulane at Louisiana. Both of those games, when I picked these, were 2 and 3 point spreads respectively. So I like to pick close games, make this not so easy, because at the beginning of the year we know that Ohio State, Michigan are going to be, probably guaranteed wins. This year Michigan has been interesting, so that's been good. But everyone so far this year, if you've picked Ohio State, they've been an overwhelming favorite in all 3 of their games. So nevertheless, we're going to get into this. Here's some of the games. Here's the picks. Once again, the spreads that I'm going to call out are ones when I initially made these picks. So they have changed. Some of them have changed. I don't know what all of them are now, so I will not state what they are now unless I know. And as of this list, I think I only know 1 or 2. We got the game of the week, Georgia at Alabama, and I know Ohio State. Those are the 2 that popped up most on my ESPN app. Oh, and I would be remiss if I didn't do this. It is 26, Thursday, 8:17 p.m. Like I said, I got Dallas and the Giants just started up there. So as soon as we're done here, I'm going to edit this and we'll listen to some of the game before I hit the sack. So, all right, Week 5, let's get into this. We're already dragging this way too long. Number 3, Ohio State at Michigan State. Ohio State opened, I say opened when I took this, of course, as a 25-point favorite. I think it's down to 23.5 now. I'm picking Ohio State. They've given me no reason to cause for concern. Giving up 2 touchdowns versus Marshall, yeah, that sucks. But come on. Game number two. We got Minnesota at number 12 Michigan. Michigan 10-point favorite. I picked Michigan in this one. Because that game versus USC opened my eyes to what is Michigan's offense. Michigan's offense is offensive line, beat the crap out of your defensive line, and our backs are stronger than probably some of your linebackers, if not almost all the linebackers, and we're just going to run down your throat. Because we all know that Alex Orji can't pass. It's not that he can't pass, he just is not a good passer. It's not his forte. So I'm picking Michigan here because I don't think Minnesota is going to hold up. They might make this a game for a little while, but the body blows are going to take time, just like it happened to USC. And fourth quarter they're going to pull away. It's prediction. Game number 3, Old Dominion at Bowling Green. Bowling Green 9.5-point favorite. Picking Bowling Green at home. Why? Because Toledo's is off this week after their loss at Western Kentucky last week. So game 4, we have number 19 Illinois at number 9 Penn State. Penn State at home, 17.5-point favorite. This is interesting because Illinois has been playing better football than I think anybody expected. So that's really cool to see. So I'm thinking this might be closer than the experts think. I think that 17.5 is a bit high because I know Brett Bielema is a great coach. I still pick Penn State to win. I don't pick Penn State to cover. Game number 5, Washington. Welcome to the Big Ten, Washington. At Rutgers, Friday night game. Rutgers, 2.5-point favorite. This is interesting. I don't know much about Washington besides they lost to Washington State after Washington State just got rid of where half their players left. And it was a bad loss. Let's call it that. I'm picking Rutgers because Washington has to travel. That's the only reason. I like Greg Schiano. We'll go there. Rutgers, I'm picking them to win. Game number 6, Maryland at Indiana. Indiana's 7-point favorite. I'm picking Indiana. They are looking really good this year. I'm also picking Indiana because our finance director at work, he's an Indiana grad. So for him, I'm picking Indiana. Let's go game number 7, Oklahoma State, number 20 Oklahoma State at number 23 Kansas State. Kansas State, 5.5-point favorite in Manhattan, Kansas. Oklahoma State's kind of been disappointing to me. I expected them to play a lot better the last couple weeks. They haven't. Kansas State laid an egg last week, but they think they were on the road for that, so they're coming home. They win, in my eyes. I'm going to guess by 7-10. But I'm picking Kansas State to win. So then we're going to go, the game caught my eye because the Giants are better than the Cowboys right now. Game number 8, Northern Illinois at NC State. I went back and forth on this one. NC State, 7.5 points. I went back and forth because Northern Illinois beat Notre Dame in South Bend, and then they laid an egg the week later hosting Buffalo. There's no way they can do that twice in a row. They're at NC State. Probably going to be a rainy game because of the hurricane down there. So I'm going to pick the bigger boys in NC State to win. I don't see much passing happening in that game, but I'm going to pick NC State. Game number 9, 15 Louisville at 16 Notre Dame. Notre Dame 4-point favorite. I'm going to tell you something. I've never seen a more schizophrenic team right now than Notre Dame. They seem uninterested to play. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what team's going to show up because we've seen the dominant team versus Purdue, and we've seen the playing down to your opponent, against Northern Illinois, and the first half against Miami of Ohio. So I'm going to pick Louisville. Only reason is because I don't know what Notre Dame is, and I don't even know what to think. Game number 10, 22 BYU at Baylor. Baylor lost in that Hail Mary last second, go to overtime versus Colorado last week. Kind of disappointing, but, the Toledo quarterback last year, Daquan Finn, transferred to Baylor. So I'm going to pick the Baylor Bears just because I like Daquan Finn, and I don't even know if he's the starter, but he's at Baylor, and I think he's played in a few games. But I like Daquan Finn, so I'm picking the Baylor Bears. Game number 11, number 21, Oklahoma at Auburn. Oklahoma, a 2.5-point favorite on the road. Usually this is where I slam the home underdog. However, I think Oklahoma bounces back after that slight embarrassment at home versus Tennessee. Tennessee just beat them in every phase. It was a really good, clean game by Tennessee, so I got to give them mad props. So we're going to go with Oklahoma to bounce back. And then we get to our game of the week. Number 2, Georgia at number 4, Oklahoma. Georgia was a 1.5 when I took this. I think it's up to 2.5 now. There's a lot of people in our work poll picking Alabama here. Alabama won the last couple, I believe, under Nick Saban. My struggle overall is I watched Georgia lay an egg on the road in Kentucky, but as the analysts told us on ESPN at least, they lay an egg in their very first road conference game almost every time. you get used to playing at home, playing against lesser competition, or neutral site playing against lesser competition. Then you go into Kentucky, into Kroger Field at the University of Kentucky at 7:30 at night, and that's a tough place to play. So I can understand a little bit why they laid an egg, but it stinks, right? Because now you don't know what to think. Alabama, let's look at Alabama. Their offense and defense have not been playing great this year. They've been playing fine, if not good, but not great. And Kalen DeBoer is a great coach. He took Washington to the title game last year, then moved over to Alabama to replace Nick Saban. So I struggled here. I went back and forth. This is how this should be, right? These picks should be something you have to think about, not just circle games because you know they're going to win. And that's why I like doing this, and I like setting this up custom. So I get to pick the games that, we want to pick, or that we want to, cause intrigue, not just the no shits, for lack of better words. So on this game, I'm going to go with Georgia. Here's the reason. I'm going with Georgia because Nick Saban is now on the set of College Game Day. That's the only reason I'm going with Georgia. I need to see Kalen DeBoer versus Georgia. I don't know what he's going to bring. I don't know what this team's going to bring. I do know that Georgia rises to the occasion every time they play Alabama, and it's never a blowout. It's usually a slugfest, plenty into the fourth quarter. I'm very intrigued to watch the game. Can't wait to watch the game. But I'm picking the Dogs. The Dogs. Go Georgia. My combined points here, the over-under was 49.5. I took 44 because I think the defenses will rise up maybe a little more than expected. So those are the picks for this week. Thank you for checking this out. Make sure you give the channel, subscribe, the video a like, leave me a comment as you see fit. I appreciate all the support for the Freakin Deakins channel. Outside of, or whether it's the game picks, whether it's the different getting my ish together, which I owe a video update of that. No, I'm not keeping this facial hair. I feel really weird with this, but it was wife's out of town. I'm going to experiment with facial hair because I was cutting my hair and trimming the beard because it was longer, and I said, hey, let's just leave it for a couple days. But that's definitely got to come off. I can't do this. I look in the mirror after I get done going to the bathroom. I look in the mirror and go, ho, come on, man. Nevertheless, here we are. Thank you for all your support. Share these pics as I post on social media at Mattfreakindeakins on Instagram and here Mattfreakin Deakins YouTube channel. Please share with as many people. Leave me comments. I love comments. It's a mission of mine to reply to as many comments as I can. Even on the shorts. I had one short go viral recently, and I think I'm actually backed up about 10 comments I got to go respond to tonight while watching this fine game after I edit this video. So make sure you check it out. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe, and be the best you. Be the best person you can be. Go watch some college football, and we will see you next.